thanks for watching. Real quick, never pay again members. A lot of you guys are having issues logging into Merkabah Academy. If you're getting a redirect to WordPress, we disabled that whole thing. So you should not be getting redirected to WordPress. If you are, then you need to probably clear your browser cache. I recommend using Google Chrome. Clear your browser cache. That should fix the issue. There's other people that emailed us with the same problem. Once they cleared their browser cache, that cleared up the issue. As you can see here, you log in, there's no option to log into WordPress no more. So that's gone. If you're seeing it, that's your problem. Restart your computer, try a different browser, but you should not be seeing that issue to log into WordPress because we completely disabled it. And it probably still exists within your browser. So you got to clear it and clear all that out so you won't get redirected. So that's the problem. If you're a Never Pay Again member and you don't have a blue check, make sure you shoot me an email. Shoot us an email, you already know, therealmerkabah@gmail.com or Merkabah team at merkabahacademy.com, either one. And we'll fix it, we'll take care of it. So make sure you guys, if you're supposed to have a blue check, if you're a Never Pay Again member, and you don't see that blue check when you log in, make sure you shoot us an email so we can update your account because we're changing the site. We're getting rid of a lot of accounts. So make sure you guys, let us know that you're a Never Pay Again member. There's a different, you have more access if you're a Never Pay Again member versus if you're not. So everybody who's Never Pay Again member, you have completely different access. We're going to get rid of free accounts altogether. And because a lot of spam and everything has been happening and been slowing down the site, but we figured out a way around that and now have, plugins and software to take care of any spam accounts, what have you. So since we're deleting those, we don't want to delete anybody that's actually a Never Pay Again member. We know who you guys are, but just to make it quicker and easier on us, if you're supposed to have a blue check and you don't, shoot us an email and say, hey, update my account and we'll take care of it. Also, Never Pay Again membership is still available at a reduced price. The link is in the description. Make sure you guys take advantage. Also, again, for Stock Market Final, it comes with all the other stock market videos at a reduced price. So make sure you guys take advantage of that before I go back to $89.99. It's lower right now. You get all the videos. It's going to be the same way with the next Saturn saving video. You'll get them all for one price. And like I said, I'm ending off a lot of these series, so this is why we're doing that and why I'm putting down the rundown videos. So make sure you guys take advantage of all these sales and everything, and make sure you guys support, and I appreciate it. It's a lot of people who are not getting the information. The last video I put out, I don't even think it's at 1,000 views yet. It's a lot of shadow banning going on. I'm actually in talks with YouTube trying to get that straightened out. It's a lot of people complaining about not seeing the live streams. It's a lot of people who haven't seen a lot of videos that I put out. So people are just not getting the alerts. They hit the bell and they still not getting the alerts. It's nuts. I understand. I know it's stressful. It's stressful over here as well. So we're trying to get around all that with Merkabah Academy and trying to make it a lot easier for everybody to get the information and what have you. So go and get into this video. It's a video a lot of people have been asking about for a long time. So it's definitely something we need to talk about, but we'll get a lot more into it later on. So yeah, gaming. I've been a gamer my whole life. I'm in my early 40s, so I grew up with, Nintendo, Atari, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega, all that stuff. I had all of them. I still have all of them. So I'm an avid gamer, especially on PC, and I play games a lot. As I talk about a lot, how games help you unwind and games really make you focus. It's really a lot of benefits to being a gamer and playing games, especially first-person shooters, any games that's fast-paced, that's causing your eyes to move quickly and rapidly and focus. And those games are really building a lot of potential within you as far as your cognitive reactions to a lot of things. A lot of people have no clue about this because, they tell you video games are rot your brains and movies are rot your brains. But you're really training yourself when you play video games. You're really training yourself to be smarter, to be more alert, to be more attentive to a lot of things that you wasn't really understanding before. So with me, video games help me learn how to drive. They help me with my hand-eye coordination. They help me out with a lot playing games. And a lot of people don't know this until you really start to see the studies. More than ever today, a lot more gamers are out there. There's a lot more new gamers, especially women, because they're starting to see the science, the metaphysics, the consciousness behind gaming. And it's a lot that goes with it. It's sort of now becoming a lot more popularized because of, just the technology now is just way better. I grew up with freaking 4-bit, 8-bit games or what have you. We thought Sega Dreamcast was like the greatest thing ever when it came out. I mean, the graphics looked so real back then. And today I look at them and was like, well, how the hell did that look so real to us back then? So it's crazy. Now, the gaming, the graphics that's out there, what Intel, what a lot of these companies is doing, NVIDIA, these gaming companies, that the software companies or what have you, that's doing amazing things with software and technology, and it's just getting a lot better. But it's giving us a lot more immersive experience in gaming. I mean, when you have a lot of these open world games, and you're seeing so much, and your eyes are taking in so much, it's part of an experience that you're getting. And it's basically expanding your consciousness and your ability to perceive new things you probably would never see unless you play these games. It's affecting the dream world, it's affecting your physical state and how you are perceiving things today. So gaming gives you the ability to filter out distractions. It improves your attention. You understand? So it's a lot of people get really focused when they're playing games, and to have that ability to block out distractions while focusing on something that is super strategic is definitely an attribute to have. It's definitely something that's positive with the gaming experience. So, you're able to pay a lot more attention now. You're able to really focus on things more now. And these things, a lot of people don't understand consciously how they've developed a lot more by playing games. But there's also a negative side to gaming, of course. Procrastination is the biggest one. A lot of people just lose touch with reality, and they, play games mostly while there's other things that they can do. You can use gaming to benefit yourself, or it'll bring you down. And it's up to the gamer to be conscious of these things so they can know, how to play, what way to get into this thing and what way to not. And there's not a lot of people putting this out there so you guys can understand the consciousness benefits of gaming and how they can help you out. So I talk about meditation a lot. And with meditation, you're programming yourself. That's the thing. So you go in, and with meditation, you focus on what you want to do, the things you want to do with your life, the direction you want to go. And you focus and you dwell on that. And you see how you have to get to that point, the steps you need to take to get there, what you need to do, how much you need to save. All of that comes into play when you're meditating. A lot of people have no idea what to do when they meditate, but this is what you're supposed to do, is to focus on those things and see yourself getting them and how you get them. And in doing so, you're programming yourself. So you begin to walk that path that you programmed in meditation. So in your daily routines and how you live in your lives, there's certain choices that you won't make now because you have programmed yourself to make a better choice with meditation. So a lot of things we do when we say to ourselves, why the hell did I do that? I shouldn't have done that. Why did I spend that money? Oh, I shouldn't have bought this. And we have a lot of regret because we haven't trained ourselves to stay away from certain things. With meditation, you can train yourself to stay away from certain things and walk that path towards your goal instead of being, controlled by video games, controlled by, the media, controlled by popular culture, what have you, and things that's trending. When you meditate, you take yourself out of that programming and into the programming of yourself, and then you move forward. And it's the same thing. See, with gaming has already, everything's been created for you. Everything is there. You're playing the game that's already predetermined. And a lot of people, we know what's going to happen, and we know the goal in gaming when we start the game. Free the princess, save the world, what have you. Kill zombies, whatever the experience may be. We know what we got to do. So you get into the game and your focus is on that. I know I got to get these keys, I got to unlock these doors, I got to solve these riddles and puzzles, and you're focused on that. So while you're in the game and you're gaming and you are strategically taking down these milestones, building up to a final point. And what happens is, a lot of people don't realize, you release dopamine in all these challenges. When you beat a major boss, you release dopamine. When you meet a challenge or a goal, you find a special weapon, you release dopamine. And it's a powerful thing that happens, and it gets you more immersed in the game. And that can cause addiction, as we know, but it can also give you the understanding, if you couple that with meditation, that these are things that I need to do. I need to, meet goals. I need to hit milestones. I need to clear levels, clear boards, get through bosses. You understand? Beat these bosses and move forward into the game to get to the next level. And it's the same thing with your life. You got to get through bosses. You got to clear boards. You got to save this. You got to do that. You have to do what you need to do to move forward. And it's something that kind of goes without saying that we all can understand it in this way, that there's certain pitfalls and hurdles you need to get around to be more successful in life. But if you're not programming yourself to do this, then you won't do it. And if you don't understand the connection between gaming and this, you won't see it. You'll think you're just playing a game, which most people do. They don't even understand the abilities that they're building up within themselves and how to translate that into the real world. And some people do it, subconsciously. They don't really understand what's going on. They just do it. They don't know why they're more goal-oriented. They don't know why they want to knock down all these hurdles in their way. They don't even know why they're more, they like to be challenged more. Understand? They're more competitive because gaming does that to you and it puts you in that spirit. So you get into the metaphysics of it, the spirituality of it, consciousness of it, and it's deep. And it takes you into a lot of different places and understandings when you start to look at the benefits of gaming, more so the benefits than the pitfalls, because the pitfalls is something that we all can come out of. You have an addiction to gaming, you got to play it all the time, and you just procrastinate, and you don't go outside, you don't get work done, then you're not going to be using those benefits that I just talked about to benefit your life. You're going to be stagnant, you're going to be complacent, and you're going to use the dream world as the only goal in life that you need to reach, versus using that power, that strategy you have, that, ability to problem solve, the focus. Instead of using that on you, it's just going to be for gaming, and you got to get out of that. And the gaming is something called the flow state. And you guys probably heard this before. The flow state is basically saying like you're in the zone. You understand? The flow state is something that's real. It's a huge release of dopamine, but it's concentrated. And when you're in the flow state, you are locked in. You're locked in on the game. You're locked in on the situation. The flow state exists in different things throughout our lives. We see it with sports all the time. How can this player be so much better than everybody else on the court? Or why is this football player so much better as a running back or as a receiver or what have you? Because they're constantly in that flow state. And you develop, or you get into that flow state in a development process as you've gone along. Because, once you start out doing something and you get the hang of it, you just go. It's like riding a bike. Once you learn how to pedal that bike right and get your balance and everything together, you're gone. It's the same thing with the game. Once you get immersed in gaming and you understand what buttons to press, where to go, and you're locked in. You're locked in, and then you're just going. Especially with first-person shooters, when you're going room to room, fighting games, when you really got to focus on your attack and everything like that, you're in that zone, you're locked in, and a lot of it comes down to your hand-eye coordination with buttons, just being able to see what's coming. And being in this flow zone, just in reality, we see with sports, as I said, basketball players, they just in the zone. They're so focused. They're in that state that they can't miss a shot because they're so focused that the hand and body coordination to shoot the ball, to make it get into the court is just on point. You got to understand how that is. That's just a flow. That's a movement. And if you do it perfectly every time, you do it right, that ball's going to go in every time. You're going to be focused enough to catch the ball if you're a receiver. You're going to be focused enough to get around your opponent. You're going to be strong enough and what have you. You're in that zone. And it's so much that we see from gaming that equals up to this, that equates to this, that you can use and spin it into your daily life and just be in the zone doing the same thing as far as crushing goals, crushing achievements to get to where you want to be. So gaming will give you a boost in visual capability. It'll give you a boost in focus. It'll give you a boost in so many different things that you can parallel to how you become successful in other things in life. So one of the best games, everybody plays Call of Duty. It's a big deal. And that game is played by some of the most smartest people on the planet. And it involves a lot of strategy, a lot of movement. Like moving through those rooms really helps with your visual, spatial capabilities and how you move throughout life. Because being able to problem solve while moving that quick is going to benefit you in a lot of things. And a lot of jobs, but just in life, give you more major ability to really problem solve and think critically when you're playing these games, because you got to think quick, fast, real time. You're a gamer, you understand, how beneficial these things could be if you have those capabilities within a game. Because when you're gaming and you're playing against other people, you say to yourself, how is this person so good? Why can't I beat this person? Because that person is in that flow zone. They're locked in. And some people are just playing to play for the entertainment, not locked in on the game. So it's a difference between a person who plays the game and it's a difference between, and a gamer. A gamer is a gamer. And this is what you do. You game, you use it for, so many different reasons besides just, zoning out or entertainment purposes. But gamers game and they know everything about their game and they get into everything. They beat all the achievements. They end the game, but they do everything else within the game. And it's just how it is. It's just like, you got to completely complete a game if you're a gamer versus just playing to have fun and not really getting any benefits from that besides entertainment benefits. But real gamers, and you guys know who you are, you understand like there is sort of a madness to it that we have as far as meeting certain levels and beating things at certain times and the achievements, that's everything that the creators put into that game you want to get and things that people don't even know about. So a game like GTA 5 that has this huge open world, and then now we have the ability to mod. And if you're a modder like me, I mod a lot, then you understand like being able to bring certain things within the game that's just brings a lot more to the experience. And as I told you guys, that's what it's all about, experiences. So gaming, especially for people now who use Oculus and everybody that's into VR, what have you, VR and AR, it's a different change. So it's a change in gaming. It's completely different from what we're used to. And it's a lot of benefits to that, especially with things like spatial, as I talked about before with Oculus, and just a different way to interact with people. And for the most part, gaming just really created, it made friendships all over the world. A lot of studies been done on gaming, don't think I'm just talking crazy. Been so many studies. So one, which I've seen it with my own eyes, kids who didn't have any friends or didn't talk a lot, once they got into online gaming and they met people, their whole vocabulary changed because they're talking and interacting with different people from all over the world, different points of views, different ways they talk, and they take in a lot of that in gaming, and then you'll see it, reflect. You guys, if you got kids, you've seen it already, if they're gamers, but you see it reflect, and you have to make sure that it reflects in a positive way. And a lot of times it has. A lot of kids are more focused now. They understand the importance of completing certain things and tasks in order to do something. So, like, kid's a gamer, you want to make sure he has his chores done and rooms clean and everything like that before he plays. He understands I have to meet these goals. I have to complete these things in order for me to get to the game. And it's just like in the game. And that's how you use the game to actually benefit, your kid's life and experience or what have you, and have that benefit you rather than hurt you. If you just let the kid play the game all day and don't give him anything to do before that, no life, goals or things he has to complete before playing, he's just going to get sucked in the game. He has all day to play it, and it's crazy. Some kids won't come to eat. They won't go outside and play. And that's one of the things that's really keeping kids in the house. And, there's nothing better than having those friendship experiences outdoors. The way I grew up with friends, we went and rode bikes, we played basketball, skateboards, running, all that. So gaming does expand your consciousness and gives you a whole different understanding of existence. Especially playing in first person is almost like, reality, or seeing yourself in third person. You can see the person you're controlling. It's a different experience that you've probably seen in the dream state when you go to sleep. You've seen yourself, normal, or in third person, you're actually looking at yourself move. And a lot of that has to do with gaming for gamers who have experienced that. But it's a lot of benefits, as I said, to gaming. There's a lot of downfalls, and I can't leave those out because the addiction to games is real, and the cognitive functions that it brings in a positive way don't outweigh the negative, because a lot of people become depressed because they get immersed in these games, especially games like GTA 5, where, I mean, you can be a billionaire and have everything, cars, mansions, and everything like that. And you basically want to live the character that's in the video game because that character's life is so much better than yours. There's been a lot of people who reference this with GTA and how, it's really hurting a lot of people on a mental level, as far as them being so immersed in the game that becomes everything. They go to work, they come, and they go home and spend all their money on mods to have these different experiences within the game. And, it's something that you should take that energy and put towards your actual life versus, video game. A lot of people, you get depressed and they believe they'll never be able to get what this person has in the game, because to get all that stuff, especially in GTA 5, it's a lot of missions you had to complete. And it gives you that thought, that understanding that I have to do so much in order to get this, and I'm not willing to do it. Not to mention the biggest one is, desensitizing. Just all the shooting and killing, and it really desensitizes a lot of people playing games where you can just, it looks so real, pull up on somebody and kill them. And GTA 5, I say that one a lot, it's one of my favorite games, but it's so real. A lot of people can't tell the difference when people post clips online. They think it's the actual video, but no. It's a lot of that going on in the games, and it really desensitizes people to reality in real life. How people can laugh at somebody getting killed and everything these days is completely different. And video games and movies have a large role, in that whole thing. So movies as well, it's a big deal on playing with your consciousness functions, or you being conscious of what's going on and aware of what's going on. With movies, of course, it's almost, you get the same effect as video games. Movies as well releases dopamine when you see something pleasurable in the movies. Of course, people have been moved by movies to tears, what have you. We all know that. But you get the same experience with gaming as well. It's a lot of realistic games that have amazing stories. Ghost of Tsushima is another game that is really, as an open world game, it's a super deep game. One of the best games ever made. Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, these games are like real. I mean, they really get you into the game where you're going around and completing missions to get money for your people. It's things that you can relate to in real life. And it's one of the things that they really try to get your mind to focus on that aspect of things you have to complete in the game and things you have to do in life. When you go through a game and it took you a long time to beat it, hard bosses, hard challenges, or what have you, it really, and you beat it, I mean, it releases dopamine, one, but it's really supposed to make you look at your own life and say, damn, I gotta do the same thing. And, a lot of gamers, or a lot of gaming companies, always talk about this as far as the experience they want people to have with their games, and how they want it to reflect their actual personal life, and how it should benefit your life, instead of having you're playing someone else in the game. And you're living off them, and you're basically enjoying the gaming experience as if, it was you. But the whole thing you should take away from it is, I want to use these goals, this inspiration, and put it in my own life and move forward and do things and complete goals and milestones and what have you. But the flow state is what we should all be striving towards, especially in gaming and in life. The flow state is really a beautiful thing when you get into that zone where you can't miss. Everything is going right. You're in the zone. You're so focused that you're getting things done. To be that focused on something that's going to actually benefit you in life, this is how you get success. So a lot of people, when you see them playing games and they're locked in, they're in that flow state. You see basketball players locked in, they're in that flow state, and they're ready to go, and they're always locked in. Everything is about that experience, what's going on at that moment. It can block out everything. And if you apply that to your daily life, and whenever you're in a situation that's going to benefit you, you stay locked in. You stay in that flow state, and you keep it going until you get to where you want to be, until you beat the stage, till you beat the boss. And that's where you want to end up at. And it's something that I think is real profound and amazing, that we can have this screwed up life and make bad decisions and choices in life, and then go sit down and play a game and get locked in, and then everything feels good. Everything feels right, and it gives you inspiration. It gives you motivation to go back out there and give it another shot. I've been stuck on bosses for days before, weeks before, that I could not figure out how to beat these bosses. And then you got to go back and remember. A lot of times we play games, we don't like to read shit. There's some shit that they said back in, stage 3 or what have you, that I should have read, or some weapon I should have got, something I should have did instead of just running past and skipping all the reading and everything like that. And this is what I used to do. Now I know you got to read shit, especially in certain games. And you get to a point and you're stuck. You didn't build up enough experience points. So if you guys play a lot of RPG games, Final Fantasy and stuff like that, you get experience points through every battle, and then you get stronger through experiences. That's what they're trying to show you. The metaphysics, the consciousness of it. Through experience, you get stronger, you get better. You gain more weapons, you gain new abilities. Completing this stage, beating this boss. Same thing with life. You get more experience, and through these experiences, you reach more goals, you reach new heights until you get to where you need to be. And it's a good thing to be a gamer and be immersed in games and get in that flow state and understand it so you can put it into your everyday life. And we're seeing that, as I said, a lot more. It's a lot more female gamers out there. It's a lot more professionals and business people who unwind, who are in their office playing Oculus or playing games or what have you. And that focus and that inspiration you get, because it's tough to get it these days. Video games have a lot of inspirations, a lot of amazing things that you do within these games. And you'll find yourself when you beat these games, you want to go back and play it sometimes because it's just like, this was a great experience. And you should learn that that's what it's for instead of the entertainment factor of it. A lot of these games have a lot of messages they want to give you and teach you a lot of things about history. Playing Assassin's Creed, as I talked about before, Assassin's Creed is a good historical game that's giving you a lot of insight into how things was back then. And a lot of it is just, for the game, but a lot of it is actual good history or things that's definitely going to make you think twice about what took place back then playing Assassin's Creed. And in that game, it's just so much that's going on, so many things you got to do and complete. And the historical part of it is neither here or there, but it's cool that they put it in the game to give you this what if with history that makes you want to take a look at actual history. And that was one of the things that the developers was talking about with the game that they wanted people to do, to really look at history, which is something that, I'm all about. So on Ready Player One, it's one of my favorite movies. The social interaction was way down. And that's a long movie, but it's a really good movie. If you haven't seen Ready Player One, it kind of sums up everything I'm trying to tell you here. And in that movie, these guys was just locked into this virtual gaming system to where it was real. They're in the game and it's like real life. They're immersed in it. And a lot of people were just living completely within the game versus reality, because the gaming experience was better than their real life. But it's just so much deeper than in those games because you're really in the game. And that's where we're headed towards with the VR and AR experience, especially VR, to where we're going to be in the game. It's going to completely feel like we're there. They have body suits and all kinds of stuff. And it's just the same way as Morpheus described it in the Matrix. It's just electrical signals interpreted by the brain. But eventually we're going to get to that point to where you're going to put on a helmet and you're going to be in the Matrix. And that's, where we're headed towards. You're going to plug in or jack in. And that experience is going to be just like this experience. And when you understand, metaphorically, esoterically, it kind of sort of reflects what's going on here with us. As I said, we have a body, we are souls that have a body. That's what we really are. We're energy inside of a body. So we're basically playing what we think is real life, but it's not actual existence. Existence would be where this energy goes once it leaves the body, and that will be actual existence. This body has a clock. Your soul does not. This body is going to be gone. We don't live that long. If you think 100 years is long, it's not compared to infinity. So we got to think about that and think about your experience here and how your experience here is supposed to build up and give your consciousness, your energy more to perceive once you go on. So you'll start perceiving more in the dream world or what have you. And you'll see that from gaming and movies and just life experiences. Get the money, travel the world, see new things, help people out, do good things, experience life. You're going to get enough bad experiences throughout life that's going to last you a lifetime. You're going to see enough bad experiences from other people. Social media is full of it, but don't be caught up in any of that when you have the ability now to have this knowledge now to know certain things is going to, boost your consciousness, boost your ability to experience the world in much better ways. You got to take advantage of these things because they're cheap. Gaming is cheap. Getting these games, you can get a computer and basically download all the retro games. I have a whole retro game section on Merkabah Academy. It's one of the reasons why I put that section there for you guys to understand how important gaming is. So it's so many ways to get and play free games and just get into gaming and get those experiences and unlock those potentials you have in you that's going to develop you, cognitively and have you focusing more, being able to solve more complex thought processes that you don't even understand. And that's one of the cool things when you unlock that within yourself to where it's a lot of stuff that's coming up, it's a lot of stuff going on, and you're able to logistically get through it easily because you've been through so many more far complex things in gaming and in life or what have you. Experiences is everything. So to get that mental training that you may not get, you might go to work, come home, and you gotta take care of the kids, you gotta cook, what have you, but you sit down and you play that game, and that level of experience that you need to really develop yourself is right there in your gaming system by going and playing these games to develop and boost those cognitive abilities that you already have. These games will unlock it and help them unlock it within yourself. So movies like Ready Player One is giving you that understanding, but also giving you the downside, the understanding of the downside of the whole thing, of how you can get so immersed within it that it could cause depression, it cause you to hate the way you look or hate who you are. And you don't want gaming to be the only place you're able to really express yourself, even though you can there, mods and what have you, and just like, different character concepts and everything like that. But you want to be able to bring that experience or that understanding of who you really are outwardly and let it benefit you. Gaming is the key to that. So a lot of people ask me about this, and it's one of the reasons why I put this video out real quick. Because people think, oh, you're conscious, you're not supposed to be playing games, and they don't understand what gaming has to do with consciousness and how it really develops you and open up a lot more cognitive benefits for you. So it's a big deal, it's a big deal. Choose wisely. It's a lot of complex games out there that people don't like to play because they're complex. They don't think their brain can handle it or they get stuck. That is good. That's the best part right there. Oh, I love a game that I can get into when I'm stuck. That's a good game. You get me stuck, you're good. Usually I figure shit out quickly and I go right through the game. So, that is good. That is going to give you the ability to unlock a lot of things in life within yourself and give you that training that you need, that mental training that you need to really unlock a lot of cognitive abilities that you've probably been lacking because your brain is riding on, freaking this industry and hip hop culture and all this dumbed down shit that's all over social media, where you can go and do something that's entertaining, one, and fun to do, and get those cognitive benefits. You're not going to get that watching Sexy Red. You're not going to get that watching beefs and battles and a bunch of bullshit, watching other people get awards that they don't really fucking deserve. You're not going to get into that shit watching that stuff, focusing on attributes that other people have that you don't. Sports is cool and everything like that. I bet I sports bet, so I like it. But still, you got to think about, why can't you do that? Or why can't I do something that's going to give me the ability to reach these levels that other people are reaching? Because you have to really focus and develop your cognitive abilities in ways that you're not going to get, normally. So gaming helps with all that. And that's the reason why I always promote it to you guys and I push it, because I believe it'll benefit a lot of you, because I know the benefits it gave me. And in helping me focus and understand, how to really unlock that whole flow state. So yeah, I wanted to get into this briefly, real quick. I'll get into this more because there's a lot more to break down to understand. I like to really get into the science and physics of it. But I talked about how, consciousness creates energy, affects the brain and how you're able to move and all this and that. It's the same thing, releasing dopamine. I broke all that down before. So these are things to just understand how it affects you on a physical level. But the biggest thing is just cognitively, because it all begins up here. So once it starts out there and you understand what's going on, I mean, you'll see the benefits. That's one of the things I talked about, before I went to boot camp. I trained so hard before I went to boot camp in the military. But when I got out of boot camp, I mean, I realized like how much my reflexes was so much better, how much better I was cognitively. And video games help with that as well, because I used to play a game called Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which is the greatest fighting game of all time to me. But I could not press those buttons fast enough, before boot camp. When I got in the military, I was a wizard, like the combos. You guys ever play one of those gamers that's like really good with the buttons and they can get the air combos and, down pack, and you might as well walk away from the game because you just can't beat them. And, it's like God level. You reach that mode when your hand-eye coordination is really good. And, the combos and it's just so complex when you think about the combos you need to do to beat this person so they can't move. They just can't move, or they can't attack or anything like that. You got to think about those combos. Then you have to execute them with your hands. That's a lot. So if you're a gamer, you understand what I'm saying. I love playing with analog, with joysticks, what have you. But I'm also like playing with keyboards. But I love playing with gaming joysticks, and it's just old school and how I grew up. So arcade games. So it's a lot to this. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch and let me rant on this whole thing real quick. But good question somebody asked. And I wanted to put up a video on it as well. So make sure you guys, make sure you guys have that blue check if you're supposed to have it. Make sure you guys take advantage of the sales, because there's a lot of people asking about the sale and they're not taking advantage of the sale. It's going to be gone. And I don't want to get those emails from people saying, hey, what happened to the sale? Get it now while it's available. I know I always put it back up, but it's not going to always be the case. All the stuff is going on until I get the site where it needs to be. Then that's going to be the end of their PAK membership. And everybody who's locked in is going to be locked in. So I'm working towards that now. I had a lot of things happen in life that, thank goodness, is completely, it's going by for now. And things are looking good and I'm moving forward. So I'm moving for full steam 100%. And you guys will see my progress more on YouTube. You'll see my progress more on Merkabah Academy. That everything from here forward is all about Merkabah Academy and all about getting this information out. It's what I do 24/7. Little businesses that I have, I run in the background. I just need a phone for that. So luckily enough for that. But this is my focus now. It's a big deal to me, and one of the reasons why I started doing this in the first place. And just the overwhelming support I get from you guys, especially all over the world. It just motivates you, pushes you, and it makes you want to put out more content and really be more immersed in this whole thing. So I'm here for good for the long haul, and until they drag me out of here. And we got a lot coming. It's a lot that I'm not even going to talk about. It's just so much that is going to help us and benefit us on Merkabah Academy, and a lot more videos and content I want to get out. This being one, but we're going to get into gaming a lot more, because there's a lot that you have to think about coming forward with AR and VR and how that's going to be. So, we'll get into this. But thanks for taking the time to watch. Thanks to everybody who supported, and I really appreciate you guys. Everybody who participated in the live stream. Got another one coming up soon. I'll announce it as soon as possible. So see you guys next video.